A terrible story from the hotel. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So, buckle up because today I've got a wild tale to share with you all. It's a story about how a seemingly ordinary hotel stay turned into a nightmare filled with unexpected twists and turns. Trust me, you won't believe some of the things that happened. I'm sharing this not just for the shock value, but because there's a lot we can unpack here, especially if you're into the nitty-gritty of hospitality management or you're a seasoned traveler like me. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive right into this chaotic experience. Alright, let's set the scene. Last month, I had to attend an international conference on sustainable urban development. It was a big deal, attracting experts from all over the world. The event was held in a city that's a major hub for technological innovation, so finding a decent place to stay shouldn't have been an issue, right? With over 10,000 attendees flocking to the city, hotel rooms were disappearing faster than you can say, checkout time. I ended up booking a room at the Grand Evergreen Hotel. On paper, it seemed perfect, situated just 1.2 kilometers from the conference center, boasting a solid 4-star rating, and with over 85% positive reviews on multiple platforms. They even touted their state-of-the-art facilities and exceptional customer service. I mean, their website had all the bells and whistles. Virtual tours, certifications, the whole 9 yards. Plus, they were part of a reputable hotel chain I'd stayed with before, so I thought I was in safe hands. Fast forward to arrival day. My flight landed late evening due to a 2-hour delay caused by air traffic congestion, a common issue, apparently, with over 1,500 flights passing through that airport daily. I grabbed my luggage and hopped into a cab. As we navigated through the city, I noticed the urban landscape was as vibrant as ever. But as we approached the hotel's location, things started to look off. The neighborhood took on a more industrial vibe: warehouses, closed shops, dimly lit streets. We pulled up to the hotel, and my first thought was, is this the right place? The exterior looked nothing like the sleek, modern facade on their website. Instead, it was an old, towering building with flickering neon signs, and the name of the hotel was missing a couple of letters. Red flag number 1. But I shrugged it off, attributing it to the late hour and perhaps some ongoing renovations. Little did I know, this was just the tip of the iceberg. Walking into the lobby, I was hit by an overwhelming smell of mildew mixed with some sort of citrus air freshener. Like they were trying, and failing, to mask something unpleasant. The lobby was sparsely furnished, and the lighting was dim, probably around 150 lux, far below the recommended 300 to 500 lux for indoor spaces. The front desk staff looked disengaged, to say the least. No eye contact, no warm greeting, just a monotonous name and ID. I handed over my documents, and after a few minutes of keyboard clacking, they said, "We don't have a reservation under your name." Wait, what? I pulled up my confirmation email, complete with reservation number, date, and even a QR code. After an awkward silence and a curt whisper between staff members, they finally found my booking. No apology, no explanation. Just handed me a keycard and mumbled something about the elevators being to the left. I headed to the elevators, and let's just say they had seen better days. The certificate indicating the last inspection date was so faded I couldn't read it. After an uncomfortably long ride to the 12th floor, which, by the way, was accompanied by unsettling creaks, I found my room. Swiping the keycard, I opened the door and, wow! The room was nothing like the photos. The air was stuffy, with a humidity level that must have been upwards of 70%. The carpet had mysterious stains, approximately 30 centimeters in diameter, scattered randomly. The curtains were half hanging off their rails, and the window was ajar, refusing to close completely. The bed was unmade, sheets crumpled, pillows without cases. There was an odd noise coming from the mini fridge, like a constant humming at around 60 decibels, just loud enough to be irritating. I thought, all right, maybe housekeeping missed this room. So I decided to check the bathroom. Big mistake. Tiles were cracked, and there was visible mold, Stachybotrys chartarum asterisk, if my biology classes serve me right, lurking in the grout lines. The faucet was dripping steadily at a rate of 1 drop per second, wasting about 17 liters of water over 24 hours. Amenities? Non-existent, no toiletries, not even a roll of toilet paper. The ventilation fan was caked with dust, severely impacting its efficiency, and possibly violating indoor air quality standards. I moved to check the closet and found a dead cockroach, not exactly the company I was hoping for. At this point, I was teetering between disbelief and anger. Time to call the front desk. I picked up the room phone, but there was no dial tone. Of course, so I used my cell phone to ring the reception. After being put on hold for what felt like an eternity, realistically, about 12 minutes, I finally got through. I explained the situation calmly, highlighting the unmade bed, the mold issue, the lack of basic amenities, and the non-functional phone. The response? A nonchalant, "We'll send someone up when we can." No estimated time, no sense of urgency. An hour passed. It's now nearing midnight. I called again, and this time, they seemed annoyed. "Sir, our housekeeping staff has left for the day. There's nothing we can do right now." I requested a room change, but they claimed the hotel was fully booked, a statistical improbability given the size of the hotel and the number of guests I'd seen so far. Left with no immediate solutions, I decided to make the best of it. I used my travel blanket and pillowcase, always pack these, trust me, and tried to get some sleep. But the noises began, doors slamming, loud voices in the hallway, and what sounded like furniture being dragged across the floor above. Around 2 a.m., the fire alarm started blaring. I jumped out of bed, heart pounding at about 120 beats per minute. I grabbed my essentials and headed to the stairwell, along with a few other bewildered guests. We congregated in the lobby only to be told it was a false alarm, triggered by a guest smoking in their room, which is a violation of the hotel's own policies and local fire codes. Feeling unsafe and utterly exhausted, I decided to look for alternative accommodations. But with the conference in town, everything nearby was fully booked, and options were limited. Back in my room, around 3 a.m., I heard scratching noises. I flicked on the lights to find a rat, yes, a *rat*, scurrying across the floor. That was it. I packed my things in record time. Sleep could wait. I was done with this place. I went down to the front desk to check out and demanded a full refund. The night manager was unapologetic and even suggested I was exaggerating. "We've never had rodent issues before," he scoffed. I pulled up a photo I'd snapped of my unwelcome roommate, complete with timestamp and geolocation data. After some heated discussion, they finally agreed to refund me for the remaining nights but charged me for the night I'd occupied the room. Unbelievable. I left the hotel and spent the rest of the night at a 24-hour cafe, fueled by caffeine and sheer frustration. First thing in the morning, I called around and luckily found a room at a boutique hotel a bit farther from the conference center. It wasn't ideal, adding an extra 30 minutes to my commute, but at that point, distance was a minor inconvenience. The whole ordeal affected my performance at the conference. Operating on minimal sleep and high stress isn't exactly conducive to engaging in high-level discussions about urban planning and sustainable development. I missed the opening keynote, which featured groundbreaking research on smart city infrastructure. Talk about adding insult to injury. Reflecting on this experience, there were several missteps on my part. I relied too heavily on aggregated review scores without diving into recent feedback. A closer look might have revealed a downward trend in customer satisfaction due to a recent change in management or cost-cutting measures impacting service quality. For those of you who travel often, especially for critical events, it's crucial to do a comprehensive analysis of potential accommodations. Check for recent health and safety violations. Many cities have public databases for this. Read the latest reviews, and pay attention to patterns rather than isolated complaints. Also, consider booking with hotels that have robust customer service policies and emergency support. In industries with customer-facing roles, the Pareto principle often applies. 80% of issues are typically caused by 20% of the underlying problems. So there you have it, a cautionary tale of how a hotel stay can go horribly wrong. This experience taught me the importance of thorough due diligence and not taking things at face value. I hope my story helps some of you avoid similar pitfalls. Have any of you had a hotel horror story? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experiences and how you handled them. Maybe together we can compile a checklist to help fellow travelers out there. Thanks for sticking around and listening to my rant. If you found this helpful or at least entertaining, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories and insights. I promise most of them are less disastrous than this one. Until next time, safe travels and stay sharp.